Okay, the next machine I want to talk about is the wood shaper. This is a big, heavy-duty industrial machine used for creating a lot of molding and doing a lot of heavy-duty edge treatments. Okay, um, very similar to the router, except just heavier duty, larger bits. It's a little slower speed, but because the cutters are larger in diameter, you're running about the same cutting speed. You've got more horsepower. You've got heavier cast iron cabinets and tables, so that it minimizes vibration, and so just really heavy duty. Okay, and they use a lot of these in cabinet making shops. They use a lot of these in molders for making door trim, door casing, and baseboard, and tongue and groove flooring, car siding. A lot of those parts that are long and they have a lot of linear footage that they just need to run them through one after another. We had a student here a few years ago that made a wood strip canoe, and so he had a Coven bead set, and so he ran a lot of his lumber through the shaper, and it makes quick work of that. Okay, and so let me show you some of the parts of the machine. So you've got your on-off switch here. Let me just make sure that we don't have any parts that are in there. We'll go ahead and turn that on. And so you've got your height adjustment here. You've got a power feed here. You can move this out of the way, but I've got it all set up right like I want it, so I don't want to move it. Your spindle sticks up right here. Notice how everything is kind of enclosed. Okay, this is a really large machine. You remember when I said there were two machines that really kind of scared me in this lab? One was the big radial arm saw. Well, this is the other one. Okay, so this is one that demands our attention and our respect, and so we do need to be careful when we're working around it. Okay. And so I guess quickly I want to show you some of the different profiles that it can cut. So this is an example of a raised panel. Okay, this particular profile right here was cut on the shaper. Here are two more. These are the other parts of the raised panel door. Okay, and so this is your horizontal rail pattern, and then you have your vertical stiles. And so how this all works together is you've got one set of cutters that cuts this profile, and you've got another set of cutters that cuts this end profile, and they all fit together like this. Okay, and so your raised panel fits in that groove, and now you have a raised panel door. Okay, and so that's what we do. That's one of the main things that we do with this shaper. Here are some of the examples of the cutters. Okay, and so this is a solid raised panel profile cutter. This is a stacked cutter set, and so you can see that these two, when they're stacked together, are going to cut. I think it's either the inside groove or the coat or the end of one of those parts. Okay, and then this is the other one. Okay, so there's different stacks that go together to make those different profiles. All right. The other thing that's important to mention is oftentimes on these shapers, because you're rotating a cutter and you've got a nut that kind of captures everything, if you put a significant enough load on that cutter, well, it could cause that nut to come loose, okay? And that'd be a bad deal. And so they use specific types of washers called lock washers or a keyed washer to prevent that nut from coming loose. And so that's pretty important too. All right. So the next thing I'd like to do is run a part. Okay. So I've got a part here. I'm going to lower my automatic feed. So we're going to loosen up this clamp here. We're going to lower this down right here. Okay. And we're going to lock that back down. All right. I didn't test this out beforehand, so I hope this works. So let's go ahead and make sure our power feed is going the right direction. So basically it's going to suck our board in and it's going to push it and feed it into our cutter. And let's go ahead and turn it on. I've got a push stick here just in case. And we're going to go ahead and feed that in. Okay. Voila, look at that. There's a nice raised panel profile on the edge of that board. So that's the shaper. I don't know if anybody is going to be using this machine, this class, but it's always good to see it and kind of understand what it is. Some of you guys may want to do an heirloom project that has some raised panels on it, and so this is the machine that we're going to use to make that or to do that.